Hello and welcome to the Easy English Podcast. I'm James, and I'm absolutely delighted to have you joining us today. Have you ever found yourself in an English conversation where native speakers used expressions that made absolutely no sense to you, even though you understood every single word? Those mysterious phrases that leave you smiling and nodding while secretly thinking, what in the world did they just say?
I'm Anna, and I remember feeling exactly that way when I first started learning English. Those confusing moments when people talked about hitting the ground running or something working like magic, it felt like everyone was speaking in some secret code that I hadn't been taught.
Well, today we're cracking that code wide open. In this episode, we're going to explore 8 incredibly useful English idioms that native speakers use daily when talking about success, failure, and everything in between. These aren't just textbook expressions, they're living, breathing phrases that will make your English sound more natural and authentic.
And here's what makes this episode special. We're not just going to explain these idioms, we're going to bring them to life through real conversations, practical examples, and interactive practice sessions where you'll get to use them yourself. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to understand and use these expressions confidently in your own conversations.
Plus, we've got a special bonus for those who stay until the very end. We'll share our secret technique for remembering and using new idioms without forgetting them. This little trick has helped hundreds of our students finally incorporate these expressions into their active vocabulary.
So whether you're preparing for an international job, planning to study abroad, or simply want to understand English movies and conversations better, this episode is packed with practical value that will transform how you express yourself in English.
Now, let's begin our journey into the wonderful world of English idioms. Our first stop takes us to one of the most energetic and positive expressions in the English language. Let's dive into our first idiom, hit the ground running. Now, doesn't that sound energetic? This is one of my favorite expressions because it perfectly captures that feeling of starting something with incredible energy and immediate effectiveness.
I love this idiom too, James. When someone hits the ground running, they begin a new project, job, or situation with tremendous momentum and readiness. There's no warm-up period, no slow start, just immediate action and results.
Let me paint you a picture. Imagine someone starting a new job. On their very first day, they're already contributing ideas, completing tasks efficiently, and understanding exactly what needs to be done without needing constant guidance. That person has definitely hit the ground running.
And it's not just for work situations. You can use this when talking about students starting a new semester, athletes beginning a season, or even when someone moves to a new city and immediately starts building their social circle.
Now, let's listen to how this sounds in a real conversation. Imagine 2 colleagues talking about a new team member.
I can't believe how quickly Mark has adapted to his role here.
I know! He really hit the ground running from day one. By his second week, he was already improving our workflow systems.
Perfect example. Now, let's practice this together. Repeat after me. She hit the ground running in her new position.
Excellent! Now let's try another one. The team hit the ground running with the new project.
Wonderful! Remember the grammar here. Even though we're talking about the past, we say hit, not hit. It's an irregular verb, just like sit becomes Saturday.
And here's a pro tip. You can use this expression in job interviews to describe yourself. Saying I'm the type of person who hits the ground running shows confidence and capability.
Before we move to our next idiom, let's do a quick recap. Hit the ground running means starting something with immediate energy and effectiveness, without needing a slow warm-up period.
And speaking of moving forward, our next idiom is just as colorful but focuses on those small changes that make a huge difference. Now let's explore an idiom that's all about those small but powerful changes, made all the difference. This expression has such a beautiful, subtle power to it. It's not about dramatic transformations, but about those crucial adjustments that turn failure into success.
Exactly, James. When we say something made all the difference, we're talking about that one element, that small change or addition that created a significant positive impact. It's like finding the missing piece of a puzzle that makes everything else fall into place.
Let me share a personal story that perfectly illustrates this. Last year, I was struggling with my morning routine, always rushed, always stressed. Then I started waking up just 15 minutes earlier. That small change made all the difference in how my entire day unfolded.
What a great example! And this idiom works in so many contexts. In business, it might be implementing a new software that streamlines workflow. In relationships, it could be that decision to actively listen more. In language learning.
Oh, in language learning, this idiom is perfect. Many students tell us that switching from studying grammar rules to practicing conversations made all the difference in their fluency journey.
Now let's hear it in a workplace context. Imagine two colleagues discussing a project.
I was worried about the presentation, but adding those customer testimonials at the beginning.
I know! Those testimonials made all the difference in winning over the clients.
Beautiful! Now, let's practice together. Repeat after me. Her encouragement made all the difference in my confidence.
Excellent! Now try this one. That small adjustment to the recipe made all the difference.
Notice how we often use the structure made all the difference in something like in my confidence or in the flavor. This helps specify exactly what area was transformed.
And here's a learning tip. Try using this idiom in your English journal this week. Write about one small change that made all the difference in your day, your learning, or any aspect of your life.
As we continue, our next idiom takes us into the realm of things working so smoothly, it almost feels like, well, magic. But before we get to that magical expression, let's take a moment to appreciate how these small differences create big transformations. Now we arrive at an idiom that's pure delight to use, worked like magic. There's something almost whimsical about this expression, yet it describes those moments when something solves a problem so perfectly and effortlessly that it feels almost supernatural.
I absolutely adore this idiom, James. When we say something worked like magic, we're describing solutions that are surprisingly effective, almost mysteriously so. It's that feeling when you try something expecting little, and it delivers spectacular results.
Let me give you a perfect example. Recently, my computer was running painfully slow despite trying every technical fix I knew. Then a friend suggested a simple system cleanup tool I'd never heard of. I ran it skeptically, and within minutes, poof! My computer was running smoothly again. It truly worked like magic.
What a great real-life example. This idiom works beautifully for everything from simple household solutions to complex professional challenges. That one negotiation technique that resolved a months-long conflict? It worked like magic. The special ingredient that transformed an ordinary recipe into something extraordinary? It worked like magic.
Now let's hear it in a casual conversation between friends.
I was so nervous about my presentation yesterday.
Did you try that breathing exercise I told you about?
Yes. And it worked like magic. I felt calm and confident throughout.
Perfect! Now, let's practice this wonderful expression together. Repeat after me. The new software update worked like magic.
Excellent! Now try this one. Her advice about time management worked like magic in my daily routine.
Notice how this idiom often carries a tone of pleasant surprise. The speaker didn't necessarily expect such dramatic results, which makes the success even more delightful.
And here's a pro tip for using this idiom naturally. You can amplify it with gestures when speaking face-to-face. A little wave of the hands or that magical sparkle in your eyes makes the expression even more engaging.
As we continue our journey through these colorful idioms, our next expression takes us from magical solutions to describing things that operate with such perfect smoothness, they feel almost dreamlike. Now let's glide into one of the most satisfying expressions in English, ran like a dream. This idiom evokes such a beautiful image of perfect, seamless operation, like something moving through a dream where everything flows without effort or interruption.
There's such elegance to this expression, James. When we say something ran like a dream, we're describing operations, events, or machines that function with flawless smoothness. No hiccups, no problems, just perfect performance from start to finish.
Let me share a recent experience. Last month, I organized a conference for 200 people. Every detail, from the registration process to the final presentation, unfolded exactly as planned. The audio equipment worked perfectly, the speakers arrived on time, and even the coffee machine didn't break down. The entire event ran like a dream.
What a perfect example! This idiom is particularly wonderful for describing technological devices, complex projects, or any coordinated effort where multiple elements need to work together harmoniously. That new laptop that never crashes, the wedding where every moment was perfect, the business launch where all departments synchronized beautifully.
Now let's hear it in a conversation between two project managers.
I was so nervous about the product launch yesterday.
Why? I heard everything ran like a dream, the demo, the client presentations, even the live Q&A session.
It really did. Better than we ever imagined.
Wonderful! Now, let's practice this smooth expression together. Repeat after me, the new production system ran like a dream.
Excellent! Now try this one. Our vacation itinerary ran like a dream from beginning to end.
Pay special attention to the pronunciation here. Remember, it's ran in the past tense, not runned. This irregular verb form is crucial for sounding natural.
And here's a professional tip. This expression is particularly powerful in business contexts. Telling a client your event will run like a dream or your new software will run like a dream conveys confidence and reliability.
As we continue, our next idiom takes us from individual successes to ongoing growth and improvement, because sometimes success isn't a single event, but a continuous journey upward. Now let's explore an idiom that captures the beautiful journey of continuous growth, going from strength to strength. This expression paints such an inspiring picture of progressive improvement, where each success builds upon the last in an upward spiral of achievement.
This is one of my favorite idioms for describing personal or professional development, James. When we say someone or something is going from strength to strength, we're describing consistent, meaningful progress over time. It's not about overnight success, but about steady, reliable growth that compounds into something remarkable.
Let me share an inspiring example. I have a friend who started a small online bakery during the pandemic. At first, she had just a few local customers. But through consistent quality and word of mouth, her business grew first in neighboring cities, then nationwide, and now she's shipping internationally. Her enterprise has truly gone from strength to strength.
What a perfect illustration! This idiom works wonderfully for describing language learners too. Think about someone who begins with basic phrases, then progresses to conversations, then gives presentations in English, and eventually becomes fluent. That learner is going from strength to strength.
Now let's hear it in a conversation between two friends catching up.
I ran into Maria last week. You remember she started that community garden project?
Of course! How's it going?
Incredible! It's going from strength to strength. They've expanded to 3 new neighborhoods and just received a community award.
Beautiful! Now, let's practice this uplifting expression together. Repeat after me. Her confidence in English has gone from strength to strength.
Excellent! Now try this one. The startup has gone from strength to strength since securing that initial investment.
Notice how this idiom typically uses the present perfect tense, has gone, when describing ongoing progress, though it can adapt to other tenses depending on context.
And here's an important learning tip. This expression carries tremendous positive energy. Using it to describe someone's journey is not just an observation, it's a genuine compliment that acknowledges their hard work and persistence.
As we continue, our next idiom brings us to a different aspect of success, those simple, practical solutions that get the job done efficiently, even if they're not perfect. Now let's turn our attention to one of the most practical and versatile idioms in English, did the trick. This expression is wonderfully straightforward yet incredibly useful in everyday conversations, capturing those moments when a simple solution effectively solves a problem.
I love how unassuming yet powerful this idiom is, James. When we say something did the trick, we mean it successfully accomplished what was needed, not necessarily in a spectacular way, but effectively and efficiently. It's the perfect phrase for those practical solutions that get the job done without unnecessary complexity.
Let me give you a perfect everyday example. Yesterday, I was struggling to open a stubborn jar of pickles. I tried everything until my wife suggested running hot water over the lid for a few seconds. It worked immediately. That simple method did the trick perfectly.
What a relatable example! This idiom shines in so many scenarios, from technical problems to personal challenges. That quick walk that cleared your mind before an important meeting? It did the trick. The software update that fixed your phone's battery issue? It did the trick.
Now let's hear it in a casual conversation between roommates.
The Wi-Fi has been so slow all day.
Did you try restarting the router?
Actually, yes, and it did the trick. Everything's working perfectly now.
Perfect! Now, let's practice this wonderfully practical expression together. Repeat after me. A good night's sleep did the trick.
Excellent! Now try this one. His simple explanation did the trick and helped me understand the concept.
Notice how this idiom often carries a tone of pleasant satisfaction. The solution might not have been complicated or impressive, but it worked exactly as needed.
And here's a usage tip. This expression is particularly common in informal spoken English, but it's polite enough to use in most professional settings too. It's friendly, relatable, and shows practical problem-solving thinking.
As we approach the final part of our idiom journey, we come to an expression that beautifully captures life's unexpected silver linings, those situations that initially seem disappointing but ultimately lead to better outcomes. Now we come to one of the most profound and comforting idioms in the English language, a blessing in disguise. This expression beautifully captures those situations that initially appear to be setbacks or disappointments, but ultimately reveal themselves to be valuable opportunities in unexpected ways.
This idiom has such depth, James. When we call something a blessing in disguise, we're recognizing that sometimes life's greatest gifts come wrapped in difficult circumstances. It's about finding the silver lining in clouds we initially saw as purely dark and discouraging.
Let me share a personal story that perfectly illustrates this. Early in my teaching career, I was passed over for a promotion I deeply wanted. I felt devastated at the time. But that rejection pushed me to start creating online English content, which eventually led to this very podcast. What seemed like a career setback turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
What a powerful example! This idiom helps us reframe our perspectives on challenges. That job loss that led to a better career path, the failed relationship that taught us what we truly value, even the canceled vacation that allowed us to discover local treasures, all potential blessings in disguise.
Now let's hear it in a conversation between two students.
I was so disappointed when I didn't get into my first choice university.
But look how things turned out. You met your best friends here and discovered your passion for journalism.
You're right. It was truly a blessing in disguise.
Beautiful. Now, let's practice this meaningful expression together. Repeat after me. Missing that flight turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
Excellent. Now try this one. Not getting that apartment was a blessing in disguise. We found a better one.
And there we have it, 8 incredible English idioms that will transform how you express success, challenges, and everything in between. Let's take a quick moment to review our journey together. We started with the energetic hit the ground running, explored the transformative power of small changes which made all the difference, discovered solutions that worked like magic, celebrated flawless operations that ran like a dream, acknowledged continuous growth going from strength to strength, appreciated practical solutions that did the trick, and finally found wisdom in challenges that proved to be blessings in disguise.
Each of these idioms adds color, depth, and authenticity to your English conversations. They move you beyond textbook English into the living, breathing language that native speakers use every day.
Now, if you found this episode helpful, I have 3 simple requests that would mean the world to us. First, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps YouTube recommend our content to more wonderful learners like you. Second, subscribe to the Easy English podcast so you never miss our future episodes. And third, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me which of these 8 idioms resonates most with your life experiences right now.
Your English journey is unique and valuable, and we're honored to be part of it. Remember, every idiom you learn, every practice session you complete, and every conversation you have in English brings you closer to the fluent, confident speaker you're becoming.
From both of us here at the Easy English podcast, thank you for spending this time with us. Keep practicing, keep growing, and we can't wait to continue this journey with you in our next episode. Until then, may your English continue going from strength to strength.